join me on a tour of P&O Cruises Iona. Let's start our tour on deck 5, where you will find the gym, health club and mainly cabins. Some of the areas I didn't actually go into to film because I felt that I was encroaching on people's space and didn't want to put too many people in my videos. It's a good sized gym, so there's plenty of equipment for everybody. Now moving up to deck 6, at the back here you will find 3 of the main dining rooms. You have the Pearl, the Opal and the Aqua, and they all serve the same food. To dine in here, go onto your My P&O website or app and you can join a virtual queue. For breakfast or for lunch it was quite quick to get a spot. At dinner times we did have to wait up to half an hour some evenings. Anderson's Bar and Library is more of a quiet, chilled space, so if you're just looking for a bit of me time and a bit of quiet, this is the area for you. Ocean Studios is the onboard cinema, so they have 4 different screening rooms showing different films every day. You do need to get there early because otherwise you're not going to get a seat. As you go around the ship, you'll see lots of signposts, which makes it a little bit easier to not get lost. Now I'm moving on to the atrium area. I love this atrium compared to some of the other P&O ships. It's modern, it's light, it's airy. You can grab yourself a Costa coffee or go into the Emerald Bar for a drink. As with all the ships, they have an art gallery on board. Here you'll find the Limelight Club. Now this needs to be booked ideally in advance before you get on the ship because you're not going to get a place, and it has celebrities performing in there most nights. As we move to the front of the ship, you'll find the Oasis Spa and Health Club, where you can have hair, nails and beauty treatments, massages, etc. done. And then right at the end is the Headliners Theatre. Now moving to the other side of deck 6, back through the atrium. Here you'll find the 710 Club. This needs to be booked up in advance, ideally in the first couple of days of getting on board. Deck 7, you'll find the Coral Restaurant, which is the 4th of the main dining rooms. Each of the staircases has a different colour coding, so you'll see the red, blue and silver. I'll go into that in more details on my blog. Deck 7, you'll find lots of shops on either side of the ship. On deck 7 of the atrium, you'll find the Glass House. This is the perfect place to visit if you are a wine lover. Book this when you get on board to ensure that you get a space. They offer a lunchtime and an evening menu, and there is a small additional charge for dining in here. Doesn't matter where you go around the ship, you will always find somewhere to sit. In the front of the ship, you'll find the casino and Brodie's Bar. Brodie's Bar is like a good old English pub where you can go and watch all the live sporting events subject to a satellite reception. And then we have the upper floors of the Headliners Theatre. You can either pre-book to see the shows in advance before you go on board, or you can book them whilst you're on board. Now I'm heading around to the other side of the ship. This is the Brodie's Bar that we came into a minute ago from the other end. They have entertainment on in here, such as pub quizzes and shows, things like that. So back into the atrium and down the other side of the ship on deck 7. Here you will find reception. You'll also come across the photo hub and the loyalty and future cruise sales, as well as excursions and more shops. So moving on to deck 8, which is like the promenade deck, so you can go outside on this deck. So starting here, we've got the clubhouse. Now the clubhouse has lots of different activities through the day, as well as things like comedians, musicians at night, and I think they do about 3 showings. A great addition to Iona that's not on the other ships is the quays area. So here you can do self-service drinks. You just use your card and then help yourself. There's a small buffet type area here where you can get yourself tea, coffee and water all day long, as well as some salads and some desserts. So this area reminds me of a food hall in like a shopping centre and things. So you've got a few different choices for food here. You've got the boardwalk, which does things like burgers and some really yummy chicken, and also does a cooked breakfast in the mornings. And you've got fusion, which is Asian, so you've got things like curries and noodles. And then hook, line and vinegar, which is fish chips and mushy peas, and it is amazing. This area is open from about midday right through till 9:30, and it's a perfect place to go if you just want to grab yourself something quick rather than going to the buffet. There's plenty of seating inside and out. Sindhu is the Indian restaurant on board. Now this is better to book before you board. There might be a little bit of availability when you get on board, but it is essential that you pre-book. And there is an additional charge to dine in here. Moving through to the atrium area, and you will come across Ripples, which is where you can get yourself some delicious ice creams. And then right through to the atrium itself, you've got the little shop that sells all of your little knickknacks that you need on board. The atrium, you'll find Keel and Cow, which is another dining option. So this is like pub grub, draft ales and beers. You do need to pre-book. You can do that via the virtual queue, but we did actually turn up one lunchtime and they just let us in. There is an additional charge to dine here. Then you'll find some inside and balcony cabins. So if we go round to the other side of the ship, there are plenty of lifts on board. There was never much of a queue other than at embarkation and disembarkation days when they were very busy. As we head outside, you will see the sunset bar. I love all these little booth seating areas that are around here. Another thing you'll notice on Iona is the number of jacuzzis that are dotted around the ship. There's recycling points around the ship. It's great to see that P&O are doing their bit. You'll also find in all of the pool and jacuzzi areas, there are clean towels and somewhere for you to pop your dirty towels. And also in the pool areas, there are some disabled toilets as well as disabled access showers for showering before and after bathing. Plenty of sun lounges and seating areas for your quays, which is just the other side for your eating. And I love these little signposts. You can never get too lost because you know where you are. So these are the infinity jacuzzis. We travelled to Norway, so it wasn't very warm, so they weren't very busy, but I'd imagine if you're in hotter climates, they would get quite busy. On the ship, they have balcony cabins that overlook the promenade. Now, I think this is going to be a personal choice thing to whether you want a balcony there. They have got obscure glass, but as you get further towards the front of the ship, you can actually see into the balconies. So it's something to consider when you're booking. If you're going to go for a select fare, you can choose your cabin. If you're going for a saver fare, you could opt for a balcony cabin, and this is what they could give you. down to the other side of the ship, and it's just the same as the opposite side. Decks 9 to 15 are all cabin decks. Deck 16 is the Lido deck. Here you'll find the infinity pool and the infinity bar. The views on sea days is amazing from this pool. There's a little splash pool here which is perfect for children, and there's a waterfall that comes down from the infinity pool above. Lots of sun loungers, so I'm sure you'll find yourself a sun lounger if you're lucky enough to go to a warmer climate. Through to the Horizon Grill, which is your buffet, lovely friendly staff. So this is breakfast time when I videoed this, so you've got your full English breakfast. There's all sorts of different options available throughout the day. And the Sky Dome, so this area here is like your inside pool, lots of seating area, and at night it comes alive with entertainment which you can just turn up to. In the Sky Dome, you'll find another dining option, and this is Taste 360, which is open from 11:30 till 8:30. Here you can grab things like pizza, hot dogs, burgers. Around the dining areas, you'll also find little hand washing stations. You'll also find Costa Coffee and sundaes here. The Costa Coffee is chargeable. Now let's move up to deck 17. Here you'll find the Crow's Nest. In the Crow's Nest you can sit down, relax in the lounge, have a drink and just watch the world go by. You'll also find Epicurean, the restaurant here. This is fine dining and is an additional charge. Deck 17 and 18 layouts are a bit strange in that you have to go up and down stairs to get where you need to go. And to be honest, I never did figure it out by the end of the week where I was going. This is the upstairs of the Sky Dome. Here you'll find more jacuzzis, more towel areas and more showers. And plenty of seating. There's also some shaded areas for those that want to get out of the wind or don't like the sun. There are plenty of options for different age groups of children on board. Now obviously I didn't film right inside because there might have been children in there, and I haven't used these for many years because my children are grown up, but when I did they were fantastic. They usually use UK qualified childcare staff and they have different areas and zones for different age groups. There's also outside play area here for the children, which is part of the kids club. So let's move up to deck 18. So there's more sunbathing space and more pools up here. You'll also find the jogging/walking track, perfect for burning off all those extra calories that we eat when we're on a cruise. So 7 laps around this deck equals a mile. This is a great little area for the kids. This is the splash zone. Smoking areas are very limited on this ship, and this is the main smoking area. Moving towards the front of the ship, you'll find the Beachcombers bar and pool. And then the retreat. So the retreat is a chargeable place to go into, so I couldn't film. Moving on to deck 19, which is the last deck, and up here you'll find the sports arena. You can play golf, tennis, volleyball, basketball, those sort of things. If you found that helpful and informative, it is my first time doing a full YouTube blog of a cruise, so I'm new to all of this, but if you want to pop a little like, a little subscribe, a little comment, if you've got any questions for me, then drop me a message. You can find me most of the time on Instagram at the Middle Aged Blogger, so drop me a message on there. I'm more than happy to help and let you know a little bit about cruising in general if you've never been before, and about Iona.